Greetings, Fright Nights and Monster Girls. I'm Count Jackula.
And I'm the Horror Guru.
And we just saw Castlevania Season 2. For those of you who don't know, Netflix has been doing a Castlevania animated series on their streaming platform.
Yep.
And so far it has...
An anime series.
An anime series.
Made in America.
Yeah, with English language intended, so it's kind of like Vampire Hunter D Bloodlust that way.
Written by Warren Ellis, largely.
Yeah, mostly written by Warren Ellis, as a lot of you may know, and if not, welcome aboard.
Yeah.
Warren Ellis back in the 90s wrote a whole bunch of scripts, and one of them was for a Castlevania movie, which at the time he was like, I made this gigantic Castlevania movie script because it was just so much stuff.
There's a lot.
Yeah.
There's a huge backlog of Castlevania history and canon.
Yeah. And at the end of the day, he was like, I finished it. I wrote it. It was like 400 pages. I got paid. It's never going to get produced. Well, as of last year, as of right now, this stands as, I think, the only Warren Ellis produced anything that has made it to audiences.
As far as I'm aware. And
I'm
glad it did, because this is fantastic.
It is.
It's brutal, it's bloody, it's very faithful. I mean, it changes...
It's bizarrely faithful
It
to
changes
the original.
some things, but like the way any adaptation would change things, like, okay, we're going to combine some characters, okay, we're going to take this character's story, give it to that character, yada, yada, yada. But overall, it's Castlevania.
Yeah, it's Castlevania because like every character that has an attitude or an established way of being, the show does.
Absolutely.
You know, Dracula, Alucard,
Trevor Belmont.
Trevor Belmont's kind of a blank slate. That dude, Sypha is the same way in the game. Like they're kind of blank slates.
Because they're main characters, you don't see them talk as much.
Exactly. And if it hadn't been for Symphony of the Night, Alucard would have been as well. But Ellis made that work. This whole show made that work while keeping Alucard from Symphony of the Night that way. Whereas in the actual like Dracula's Curse, which this show is obviously based on, he's just like, he just turns into a bat, you know, and that's kind of it.
Yeah, Castlevania 3.
3, yeah. With all that said, everything that was put into this is fucking amazing.
Oh, it's fantastic. It's fantastic. I only have a few minor complaints, and it's mainly just I felt the pacing is weird.
The pacing is weird. A lot of people have said that the pacing is slow, but I'm like, no, the plot is not slow. It's just that it feels like there needs to be like one or two more big fight scenes.
Yeah, I wouldn't say slow. It feels stop and go for me. Like it's like it like portions of it will move really fast. Like, oh shit, we're already here. But then we'll like slow down for a couple episodes. And you're just like, oh man, it's like all of a sudden it feels like it's taking forever to get to the next.
Yeah. I could have done with that and like a 5-minute sequence of the Vampire War.
Oh yeah.
You know, because if you remember, this is a direct continuation of season 1.
Yes.
Where it leaves off where the three heroes, Alucard, Sypha, and Trevor get together and they're like, we're going to go get Dracula. And
the party is formed.
Yeah, party's formed. Dracula's got his war against humanity, and he has gathered all the vampires everywhere under his banner to destroy all the humans in Wallachia. Now, with that said, I did feel like there could have been a few times where we could have seen more of the Vampire War.
Yeah, more of the Vampire War. Maybe like there's a point in which the characters find this family tomb of the Belmonts. Maybe some sort of action sequence before they enter the tomb.
Yeah. Like you gotta fight a monster or something.
It's not that the plot isn't engaging. It's super engaging. There was just like, I think like 3 episodes with very little action.
Yeah, where it's all just plot. It's all character and plot development, and you feel like...
And 3 episodes is a lot in like an 8-episode season.
Yeah, it is. It is. And so you find yourself going like, I feel like I'm learning a lot, but I feel like something should be happening.
Yeah.
By the time you get to season like 5, that all stops.
Episode 5.
Sorry, episode 5. Yeah, episode
that's when it
5.
picks up again.
That's when it picks up again, and it's just like shit's just going down.
Oh,
constantly.
and then the plot is over before you know it. And then there's like an extra episode after that.
Yeah. It's like a wrap-up episode. So basically, even though it's 8 episodes, it's really 7 episodes and a wrap-up at the end.
Yeah, like an epilogue that's leading into potentially
season 3.
It could end there if they wanted to, or if they're greenlit for a 3rd season, which I believe they are, they could continue it.
Yeah, and I think that what is the obvious place to go, which is definitely where I think they should go, because they've been doing the obvious thing, but doing unpredictable things with it.
Yes.
And I think they should continue that, is to basically combine Rondo of Blood and Symphony of the Night into season 3.
Okay.
You know, because that brings back Alucard, it brings in Richter Belmont, and it basically sets it up where it looks like it's going to be very similar to what Trevor and Sypha and Alucard went through, but then it completely diverges. So I think that would be a good place for it to go, but that's speculation. Probably I'll save the details for when we get to spoilers, but I think my single favorite non-spoiler moment, and I'm telling you this just to get you hype, is that the minute they actually step into the castle is when the Castlevania theme song starts playing.
That was beautiful.
Oh my God!
That made me feel like a kid again.
Holy crap. I'm watching it, and I am like... I'm singing along, and they're just fucking killing monsters at like this breakneck fucking pace. And you're just like, oh man, this is the perfect video game adaptation. It's the best one that's ever existed. Yeah. I know I said that before in season 1. But
it definitely is. It absolutely is.
Yeah.
Like it captured the entire spirit of Castlevania. It did its own thing while also staying true to it. And it's good.
Yeah.
It's engaging. It's funny. It's gory.
Watching the friendship between the 3 main characters is really interesting, because that's where like the meat of the story really is, of the show really is.
Well, you have this like nice little like metaphor. I don't know if metaphor is the right word, but you have like this nice little narrative where they're like 3 stunted kids.
Yeah.
In their own ways. Like, Trevor Belmont never really got to have a childhood because he was trained as a hunter, so he's kind of like stuck in this adolescent phase. Alucard grew up really, really fast because of his
because he's a Dhampir.
Because of his vampire genes.
And I actually fucking love that, because it's one of those, wait, are we saying that Alucard is literally an angsty goth teenager? Yeah. Yes, that's exactly what we're saying.
So he's essentially stuck in like the rebellious teenage phase.
Yeah, fucking Sypha like flat out calls him out on that shit. She's like, are you literally just a brooding teenager? And Alucard's like he's stuck. He doesn't know what to say.
Sypha kind of has to mom them, but even she's a little stunted in her own ways, because she's part of the people that only vocally teach things. There's a lot of things that she didn't really learn.
Yeah, there's an outside world she knows about, but she is not necessarily that experienced in.
Exactly.
And she comes up, but rather than coming off as just the snarky the snarky girl who knows everything, which would have been so easy.
Yeah, she's not that.
No, she's not. She is instead just hyperactive. Mm-hmm. She's hyperactive and wants shit done, and she's just constantly like trying to get these 2 guys who can't stop picking on each other to work together. But they do work together.
You know, the funny part is her plot mirrors a certain villain's plot.
Yes.
Of trying to get the children to play along.
Yeah, it does. It does. Because there's a mirror plot on Dracula's side. But that gets into spoilers.
Yeah.
You know, but that's just how well crafted the show actually is, which is the 2 main plots. The 2 plots mirror each other.
And the trademark Warren Ellis, like, crude humor is throughout it. When these characters are interacting and bickering.
Just for every moment that, like, Alucard just gives Trevor Belmont the finger. I'm just sitting there going,
metaphorically, sometimes literally.
Oh, yeah. And I'm just sitting there going like, Alucard just fucking gave Trevor the finger. I don't know why, but I am. Well, it's that great moment where it keeps Alucard from being so haughty he's unrelatable.
Yeah.
Because he does have to, he gets down to Trevor's level. Because Trevor just gives him no end of shit, but occasionally he just gets down on his level.
Well, I actually kind of felt like
that.
I kind of felt like Trevor gave him some shit, but it felt like Alucard was laying into Trevor way more.
Oh yeah, he's really, Basically, that initial thing in the first season where fucking Trevor is like, you're a vampire, you're evil, you're an abomination. Yeah. Alucard has not forgotten that, and he is fucking taking it out on Trevor the entire season.
You also have like this cute little romance blossoming between Trevor and Sephora.
Yeah.
It's everything. It's got everything, you know?
Yeah, it's really super
all
good.
compacted into this 8 episodes.
Yeah. I give Castlevania season 2 the horns. This thing is super awesome. And you should absolutely watch it. Completely worth your time.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, if you like 90s anime, gonna love it. If you like Castlevania, you're gonna fucking love it. If you just want to see vampire action, you're gonna fucking love it. There's so many reasons to love this show.
If you just want to watch a show that has a bunch of sexy dudes,
oh yeah,
being angsty,
oh yeah,
this will fulfill your teenage fantasies.
This is a man candy show.
Yes,
it's a man candy show. Like even like the sexiest woman is not given the loving pan over detail that Alucard gets.
You basically have like there's a bunch of like background characters, but there's mainly only like 2 women on the show.
Yeah,
and they are not treated nearly as like the sexy man candy as like all the angsty dudes are.
Oh yeah.
Like you have like the gruff one in Trevor Belmont. You have the pretty one with Alucard.
Yeah, exactly.
And then on the villain side, Dracula is like the angsty old man, but maybe I could fix him. Like
exactly. He's got that. Dracula got that big dick daddy energy going on.
Yep.
You know.
And then his subordinates all have their own little stories that make them kind of their own like Whoopies destroyer of worlds.
Yeah, it's you wouldn't think that a story or a show could sustain that much angst and power while still be funny and entertaining.
This is like everyone's inner goth girl's like wet dream.
Oh god,
show.
No. Like okay. So one of the other projects that they're going to work on while they're also doing Castlevania season 3 is Devil May Cry,
which will continue that.
Yes. And I'm like, well, no fucking shit. You're going to hand Devil May Cry over to these guys.
I'm excited about that for one reason. I want a coherent Devil May Cry mythology, which the original anime they did not give me.
I know. I want Warren Ellis back on this Devil May Cry shit. You have him writing that crap. You're like, yo, Warren. It's like, I don't want to do it. Fuck you, Warren. Here's $1 million. Bam. All right. I guess I'll write then. Yeah. Get that cranky old Scotsman to work on that fucking word processor. Right, you some Devil May Cry movie. Anyway, on to spoilers. There's a lot.
There's a lot of stuff to spoil.
There's a lot of stuff to spoil here. But there are a few things I definitely want to like zone in on.
Okay.
One, Carmilla shows up.
Yes. And she became one of my favorite characters on the show. To the point where I wish there was more of her.
Oh yeah. Yeah. She's like backup villain in this one.
Well, she's also like clearly set up for next season.
Oh yes.
Mainly, you know.
Oh yes. You know, Hector and Isaac are in this story big time.
Yes.
I was blown away. I was like, whoa, that's a deep cut. Like that, and you fucking went to the well for Hector and Isaac.
Those two characters are obviously the most the most set up for the next one, because the story that takes place right after Castlevania 3 is literally Hector and Isaac going to war. Like,
yes. Yeah.
So
canonically, that's the next thing that happens.
Yeah.
And then right after that is Castlevania 1 and 2, game wise, and then after that is Rondo Blood and Symphony of the Night and everything that comes after. But I couldn't believe that they brought in Hector and Isaac. I'm sitting there going like, you've got to be a major fucking Castlevania fan to fucking dig these guys out. Because not even most Castlevania fans remember those guys, because most Castlevania fans remember everything up to Rondo of Blood and Symphony of the Night, but like the Isaac and Hector games came after that, even though they're technically set before Symphony. You know, those were like handheld games, I'm pretty sure.
I'm not sure.
Yeah. So like people knew about them, obviously, but that's one of those things where you're sort of like, oh no, you went deep into it. Like you actually were like, oh no, I know what to do with these guys. You're like, oh, okay. And it's really good.
Well, I mean, like canonically, Hector betrays Dracula in the timeline of Castlevania 3, so that's why they're in here.
Yeah. But like Dracula's Castlevania 3 Dracula's Curse doesn't really go into that. Is what I'm saying. You know, the game itself, but the lore does. Anyway, like the stuff that happens with Hector and Isaac was really fucking good.
Yeah, it was great.
Like, I thought it's one of those things where you're like, oh, they're just, I thought they were just going to be characters that are just like, oh, we're just here, and then they're going to fight at some point.
They're also the characters that I feel like had the most changes, but for the betterment, because...
Oh, God, yeah.
Like, if you just took Hector's story, it would just be Dracula's story that they already gave Dracula. So, it would just be a repeat.
Yeah, you don't need to do that again. The important part is that he's a demon forge master and he works for Dracula.
Yeah.
You know, that's the important bit. So they kept that and just kind of tossed everything else away.
I love everything they did with him and like his connection to animals, and like he sees even the vampires and the humans in the terms of animals. You know, like vampires are cats.
Yeah, exactly.
I love that. That characterization was really well done.
Yeah, and although the character they really changed was Isaac. Mm-hmm. Isaac is almost completely different. He's got the same motivation. He disagrees with Hector, and they're going to go to war with each other, at some point, obviously. But I'm not positive, but it looked like they were setting Isaac up to be the Dark Priest Shaft. Shut your mouth.
It's possible.
Yeah, it's possible, because basically by the end of the show, Isaac ends up in Egypt. Mm. You know, and raising his own army of the dead, and he's like, I'm going to retrieve Dracula's castle and like all this shit. And you're like, that's Dark Priest Shaft's story. Are they just going to make those two characters? Okay, sure, I'm cool with that.
It's entirely possible. And Carmilla runs off with Hector as her pet.
Oh my God!
Obviously setting up a war between the two of them, which would continue the storyline just in a different way.
Oh my God! In like the last episode, which is like the you don't want to skip the epilogue episode because a lot of shit happens in it.
It's a lot of setup for next season.
Yeah. Oh my God! She just fucking brutalizes Hector.
Oh God, yeah.
You're just watching it, and she's just like beating the shit out of this guy with her vampireness. And you're watching this guy who's been this like really, really powerful, quiet but powerful dude just get fucking beaten.
Well, watching him go from being like the top Dracula forge master to her pet.
Yeah.
It's like the saddest descent. Like, it's just like, oh, poor dude.
Yeah, you feel for him. Feel for that guy.
But the thing is that he's another character who's kind of stunted in an adolescence. And that's how she's able to manipulate him.
Yeah. You know? Well, that's what I actually kind of liked about it, is that almost all the characters are. Mm-hmm. All the characters that have names are a lot like children, with two possible exceptions. One being Dracula and the other being his wife. Mm-hmm. You know, they're the ones that feel like adults. Everyone else acts like a kid.
Until Dracula stops acting like an adult.
Until Dracula stops doing that, yeah. But... Oh my God!
But like Carmilla has that great like parallel with Sephora about how like she's dealing with all these man children at the Dracula's castle, and she's got to be the adult and win this war. Like it's like
But she herself is like, you know, like basically a teenage mean girl.
Oh yeah. Rebelling against dad. Like she kind of got that.
Constantly rebelling against dad, and dad is Dracula.
Yeah.
You know, even though she's not actually
actually his son, but or not actually his daughter, but like you could kind of assume that like most of the vampires see Dracula kind of like
he's like the kind of like the progenitor. You know, like fucking Oh God, what was his name? Godhand?
Yeah, something like that. Godbrand.
Godbrand. Yeah. I don't know what he's from, if anything, other than the show, but he was fantastic.
Peter Stormare. With his really thick-ass accent.
Playing a fucking Viking vampire.
Who likes to build boats, fuck, and kill people. Yeah. Or ride boats. Fuck.
Yeah. It's like, I've never met... Yeah, oh God. They're talking... He comes in real early and someone's like, look, well, I'm tired of you trying to eat, fuck, or turn every living thing into a boat. And dude storms off. And then Godbrand's like, I like boats! I am Viking. We make boats. It's like offended. Like, what? Yeah, I can't turn a person into a boat. The hell said, fuck you.
Yep.
Yeah, you don't control me. And that's another thing that I like. All the vampires have this timeless quality to them because they're the ones that speak with a certain level of modernity. They speak like contemporary characters sometimes. My favorite being when Carmilla goes, what the fuck was that?
That was fucking fantastic.
Holy shit, it's so perfectly timed.
It's a perfect joke, though I did think it was weird that like the next scene we see her in, she clearly explains what happened. And I'm just like, okay, so you understood what happened.
Yeah. Like, maybe it took a few minutes to figure out.
It took a few minutes to sink in. But
she figured it out.
I thought it was hilarious.
God. And the thing I like about it is right up until the actual conflict, the actual final conflict, everything that the main characters do, Trevor Sypha and Alucard do, is a comedy of errors.
Yeah.
It's a complete comedy of errors. Like, they can't do a goddamn thing right. In
the spoilery section, though, I think one thing I was slightly disappointed on is I wanted more of there to be, like, an actual, like, episode of, like, going through the castle to find Dracula.
Yeah,
at least just one episode of like storming through the castle and like fighting like, oh, we gotta go through these gears or some shit. Like, I just wanted one episode of that, but they kind of speed through that. Like,
because I think what they gave us instead was the fight inside the Belmont house. Because they end up in the Belmont, old Belmont.
Yeah, which kind of has that kind of design, like a Castlevania level. So.
So I can understand, but it did feel like we needed to see them fight together and fail one more time.
Yeah, that would have been cool.
Because by the time the fighting really starts, by the time they get to Castlevania, they've figured out how to work with each other, and it feels like we missed a scene. Like, we didn't quite see that happen. Now, with that said, you only kind of miss it.
Yeah.
It doesn't spoil the show at all, because
no, it doesn't.
That fucking fight scene in the throne room is amazing.
It's beautiful. The fight with Dracula is great. All the fights in this are beautiful. Like, the animation with the fights are great.
I can't believe that the Count Dracula had that fucking fireball thing he had.
That was awesome, yeah.
What the shit?
That was freaking awesome.
Where he's just like, I'm tired of this. And you're like, oh shit. Oh shit. Duck!
I loved the completely unnecessary backstory we got that we spent 5 minutes on that was literally just there to show Dracula impaling people.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I appreciated that.
He told that whole story, and I'm sitting there going, like, that literally had nothing to do with progressing the plot, but I appreciate it because we got to see Dracula.
Yeah. Because, that's one of those, that's like a Peter Jackson thing. Like, you can't say, oh yeah, they fought some trolls and not expect him to go on for 15 minutes in the movie. It's like, I would be disappointed had they not done that. We need to
see Vlad be the Impaler. I got it. I understood.
And they did. Damn. Like, I think this is probably the most powerful depiction of Dracula ever.
It's definitely fucking up there. He is
Holy crap.
He's a beast.
Yeah, like
when he just starts running, the ground cracks underneath him. Like, it's
oh my god. Yeah, they definitely get you up to the point where when he starts dueling with Alucard, you're like, how is Alucard going to win?
Yeah.
How is he gonna fucking win?
Before that, you're wondering how Alucard could lose because he has like this floating sword that can do its own thing, but like Dracula is just like beating him at every turn. Like,
yeah. Alucard can teleport. Yeah. He can fucking double jump. He does the dark metamorphosis.
In any other story, Alucard would be the overpowered Legolas. You know?
Yeah. But because Dracula is that's a whole other fucking galaxy of power that he has. You're sitting there going, I don't know how Alucard's gonna beat this guy. I don't know how our hero's going to beat this guy.
You get the realization, like, all the other vampires are vampires. But Dracula is a vampire and a fucking sorcerer.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, he is so powerful.
Yep.
You know, like, this is, like, how to put it. And literally an army of vampires cannot kill Dracula.
Yep.
Holy fucking shit.
Which, by the way, the main characters were really lucky that, like, Carmilla killed, like, half of the vampires before they arrived.
Yeah. Yes. I love how they did the Morning Star.
Oh, that was great.
Yeah.
the fucking...
Yeah, because in the beginning you're like, oh, God, it's the Mason Chain. He's like, it's the Morning Star. And so the thing with it is, in the story, normally it's just like a mason chain, but it's enchanted, so it'll kind of obey Trevor's commands. But if it hits a supernatural thing, it lights it on fire and makes it explode.
Which happens.
It happens a lot.
It's great.
A lot. We get some great, like, Fist of the North Star explosion moments.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of blood.
Hell yeah.
There's so much blood in this show.
I love all the monsters. Like, they included a lot of monsters from the games and stuff.
Yes.
Like, as actual, like, parts of Dracula's army. And
Yeah. They even had the boss monster where it's like the gargoyle with wings that picks up the fucking gargoyle without wings with the spear and throws him at guy.
Yep.
Oh my God. It was so fucking good. But my favorite part has got to be the ending.
Oh, yeah.
Holy fucking
Jesus Christ.
crap.
This thing hits you with the feels pretty strongly in the end.
Oh, my God. Yeah. Where it's... Okay, so we're this deep into spoilers. Let's just set this up for you. Alucard's fighting Dracula, and they end up in Alucard's old room.
Yeah.
From when he was a little kid, and Dracula breaks down.
Yeah, it says, like, this is your room.
This is your room. And then he starts, like, talking to himself, but he's obviously talking to, his wife.
Yeah, and he even walks over to a picture of her.
Yeah, and he's like, I'm trying to kill our boy. Why? What have I become? You're sitting there and you're like,
I must be already dead.
Yeah, I must already be dead. And, Alucard...
He comes in for the hug, and...
Alucard stakes him.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh!
And Dracula lets him stake him.
Yeah, he lets it happen.
Because there's an exchange earlier in the fight where Alucard's like, you didn't kill me first time we fought. That's because this is the world's most crazy suicide note.
This is the world's longest suicide note.
Yeah.
You
want me to win.
Yeah.
And then at the end that becomes true.
It becomes totally true. And then after they decapitate, like Trevor comes in, decapitates Dracula, Sypha starts burning his body, and as he is like in like decomposing in ash, he's reaching out for Alucard, and you can't tell whether he's trying to kill him one last time or just hold him.
Yeah.
And you're sitting there like, oh my
And you can tell
God.
Alucard doesn't know either.
Yeah. Nobody fucking knows. And then he's gone.
Yeah.
And
it sinks into Alucard that he just killed his dad.
He just killed his dad. Yeah. And whoa. So the last shot is just Alucard in that room. It's almost silent.
Sitting in his dad's
Sitting
chair.
in his father's, sitting in this throne, that he's brought into his room. And you're just like, the very last absolute shot, I won't worry for you, but it's fucking perfect.
Yeah.
It's so fucking perfect.
Yeah.
It's
beautiful.
I don't know. I am blown away.
Yeah, it is fantastic.
I'm blown away.
I would never have expected like a Castlevania animated series to have been this faithful and good at the same time.
I know.
It was.
It's almost inconceivable.
Mm-hmm.
It's like this. How did this happen? Like, it's fucking near perfect.
It's fucking great.
Yeah, this thing's amazing. And I can only hope that they continue with
this. If you haven't watched this yet and you're an anime fan and you liked like Devilman Crybaby or something like that,
oh, you gotta watch this.
You gotta watch this. It's totally up that alley.
You know, it's both seasons I think it's only like 12 episodes total.
Yeah, because it's like 4 episodes and 8 episodes. So like it's like 12.
Yeah.
Like, you can watch it in a night pretty easily.
Yeah. Looking forward to that season 3, man.
Yeah. Apparently it's a 12 episode season next season. Like it's like 10 or 12. Like they keep adding episodes.
Ooh, hey. As long as that fucking storytelling is top notch, I'm good.
Well, it's very obvious that the second season and the first season were supposed to be the same season, but like they had to.
Yeah, they had to break it up.
They needed the proof of concept. It's like how sometimes they'll greenlight half a season for a show, and then if that does well, they'll greenlight the rest of the season. That's what it really felt like.
It's funny because even though it does become a second season, like you do feel like there's somewhat of a new story happening. The continuation of the first 4 episodes is obviously also in effect, and so it feels like it does feel like. The first 4 is like episode 0, but you have to watch it.
Yeah.
You know, like it ain't bullshit you don't need to read. You know, oh man. So once again, give it the horns. Castlevania Season 2. Check it out.
Hell yeah.
And where can they find you?
They can find me at The Horror Guru on Facebook, on Twitter, on Twitch, on YouTube. Also look up Blood Splattered Cinema. You'll find me there. And there you go.
And you can find me on Instagram at that. You can find me on Twitter, Count_Jackula. And you can catch us streaming every Thursday at 6 Pacific Standard Time on Twitch. And every Sunday at 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, also on Twitch. Go and follow me on Twitch. Send me a couple of bucks. We talk about like all kinds of things. And if you donate $20 on the stream, I'll have you on and we'll talk for an hour about either the assigned topic or whatever you want. But you're probably going to want to get in on the assigned topic because that's probably
Here's
why
$20. I want to talk about buttholes. Okay.
You know, we could. We could, like...
Someone's going to do that now.
Oh, no. Someone's going to pay me $20 to just talk about Brony for an hour, and I'm going to be sitting there like... Oh my God!
But people will come to watch that.
Yeah, no, they will.
They'll come to watch you suffer if nothing else.
Yeah. Hey, let me tell you about all the Brony sex toys I've found online. Well, $20 an hour.
This one looks like a pony's head is in your ass.
Oh my God! I actually saw one, which was just basically, it was like a train of pony ass vaginas, and I'm like, really? Really? 10. I got they never let it be said that those them brodies don't go all the way. I kind of gotta admire that in a strange way. Just kind of gotta do.
You gotta.
Well, until next time, hope to see you at the stream. Ave Satan, it's Disco Inferno. I keep watching fucked up movies. Like a train of brony ass vaginas.